Well, we've been waiting for it for quite some time, and we got it. The alibi of Bryan Kohberger. This is something where, if you have an alibi, that can exonerate you even before trial begins, if it's legit, if it has some sort of grounds to it. And the initial alibi that we heard that the court said, we don't buy it, you need to come up with something better, was he likes to drive around at night. So we've waited months and months and months. The families, the victims, all waiting for this new alibi that's going to exonerate him. And all we've added is the stars and moon to it. Literally, that's all that's been added to. He likes to drive around at night and look at the stars and the moon. And oh yeah, we're paying somebody to come and tell us that that's legit. And he was somewhere else at that time because of his cell phone, which was off, by the way. So I don't really know how you tell where someone is when it's not pinging. Joining me to
Mhm.
discuss, Shavaun Scott, psychotherapist and author. What is going on here that they're still going down the same road of he likes to drive around at night and look at the stars and moon?
Yeah, if he had been at a meeting of the astronomy club, you know, with a few people who could testify, that would be probably impressive. This is not impressive. And again, you get the sense it's like, what can we come up with here? What can we possibly come up with to raise reasonable doubt? And this is not impressing any of us at this point.
Is there some larger strategy here? Because I mean, Ann Taylor's seemingly been an okay attorney thus far, really getting quite in depth and definitely, vigorously defending her client. But is there some other longer game here? Do you think by throwing this out there, and then yes, they're saying they have this one expert witness that will testify to phone pings again when a phone's not even on.
Right, right. It really has an odd feel, and I can only think of this is the best that they can come up with,
Mhm.
which doesn't bode well. And I guess by having an expert, it will go into the arguing the competing experts in digital forensics. And so often you've always got people who are paid to come in and be the competing expert. So it looks like that's the way it will go. And how much weight will that carry? It doesn't look too impressive right now.
How would something like this play to the jury? Because you're going to have experts that we already have seen in the PCA. There was uh, data on the phone pings that he did have when the phone was on, and it did triangulate and place him very close to the house. How do you have that where you have one expert over here saying, "Well, here's what the phone ping and the cell tower show us," but this one over here, who's also an expert, is going to say the exact opposite. Does that negate it in the jury's mind, or how? That's just got to be extremely confusing when you have two experts that are
Yeah.
completely contradicting each other on factual
Confusing is the
information.
word.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. I think that's the goal is if I have heard that from defense attorneys before is, well, if you can confuse the jury, then you can get reasonable doubt. And I think that's the point with competing experts is, you pull out everybody's credentials. One says one thing, one says the other.
Mhm.
And often juries, it's complicated. It's over their head and they just go, well, we don't know, so we can't vote guilty.
What does it say about Koberger, the fact that we've seen no one come out in terms of people who know him and be supportive? There's of course the online communities that people just jump onto the bandwagon and go, "Oh, we think he's innocent," when we really have no reason to believe that. Um, but no one, there's been no one coming out and saying what a great guy he was. This is not somebody I would have seen doing something like this. The only things we've seen are people who've had kind of weird interactions with the guy. And now, we're a year and a half into this whole case and still radio silence on anybody. I mean, I think most
Yeah.
of us, no matter, if you or I somehow snapped and went and committed a horrible crime the next day, there'd still be a lot of people going, I don't think so. They were not that type of person. That's got to kind of speak volumes there.
I hope that people would say that about
Yeah.
me. Fingers
Yes,
crossed.
yes.
Although I don't have any crimes planned, and at this point in life, I have often had the thought, gee, maybe I will live my life out without being on the other side of prison bars, you know. So it's looking
Yes.
like it'll go that way. But yeah, it is telling that all we've heard over and over and over from people who've known him for many years is what an odd guy he was,
Mhm.
and or what a scary person he was. And it's if the best we can come up with is stargazing and one competing expert, you know, it doesn't look good.
It makes me wonder if they're gonna go down an angle of, yeah, look, this guy is weird. He's very off-putting to many people. You know, he was an ass to people at the school, this or that. Um, but that doesn't necessarily make him a murderer. It makes him
Right.
kind of a loner and a weird guy, and he likes, I mean,
Yeah.
I think giving a defense of an alibi of he likes to go drive around creepily at night by himself just kind of almost plays into that narrative of it's kind of
Yeah.
weird,
Yeah.
that he's doing that on a regular basis, supposedly. And I just wonder if that's the angle they're going to go down of because he is such a damning figure of, yeah, he's weird and all this, but again, it still doesn't make him a murderer. And we're going to try
Yeah.
and go off this other path with our one expert and say he wasn't near the house.
Yeah, I think it may be the best he can do. And the other thing about cruising around in the middle of the night, that's a common behavior among many sex offenders. You
Yes.
know, they're out looking in windows or
Yeah.
watching, and it's you know, again, it doesn't make him look good.
No, it doesn't at all. But I guess we'll see if there's another trick up Ann Taylor's sleeve, or I wonder if
Yeah,
she's just kind of against the wall right now, like
right.
stars, moon. This is what we're adding to it.
And here are photos he took of the stars at
Yeah,
some point.
like I'd
Yeah,
love to see
so
the photos because I mean that was even mentioned in that affidavit of, and there's photos on his phone. Well, what else is on the phone, like, other
right,
than pictures of the
right.
stars and moon? Like I'm
Yeah,
curious about
we
that
really
other
want to
part.
know what was on his computer.
Exactly. I'm sure we'll
Hmm.
find all that out very soon. It's a
Hmm.
fascinating one. Hey, thanks for checking out the video. Be sure to follow us wherever you download podcasts, and especially Apple Podcasts, where you can get advanced episode and premium content on our premium channel right there. Also, be sure to follow us on social media so you don't miss any breaking updates on the stories that matter to you most. We're on TikTok, X, Instagram, Facebook. Just search Hidden Killers Podcast with Tony Brueski, and you'll find us right there. Again, thanks for watching.